それではただいまよりシンポジウム海外事例8を開始いたします。座長でいらっしゃいますクリスチャン・フェルテン先生、どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。Next, we start Symposium Overseas Practice Session 8. The chair is Dr. Christian Felten. Dr. Felten, would you please start?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we don't have to lose time. A warm welcome to you all to the last session of the day. And the people who are not here will miss a big, good presentation. But everything will be recorded. Everything will be recorded, and nothing is lost after our session. And you can find it, and the other can find it after the conference on the net. Okay, let's start. A few words to, perhaps you have read it, Basi. It's the conference of the Basi. What is Basi? The Basi is the German Federal Association for Occupational Safety and Health, and we are an association of 86 associations. And it's quite unique in the world because everything is united in the Basi in Germany, from ministries, professionals, organizations, medical doctors, safety engineers associations. The Public Accident Insurance is a member, the DGOV, and we are organizing this A+A conference this year in Düsseldorf, Germany in November, and you're cordially invited to come there. It's a little bit bigger than here, even also the conference here, and we make it together with our international partners, the International ORP Foundation, the European Agency, the Vision Zero Initiative, the ESA, and the ILO. A short overview, what does it mean in digitalization in prevention? We have not only AI. Today we are talking only AI, but digitalization is much more. It's artificial intelligence that are digital technologies like we're using wearables or VR tools, something like that. And we have digital work processes now. You can work processes design by AI or by digital tools, because you can design a power plant, for example, by a digital tool, and you know exactly before you put it into action how it will work. And last but not least, the human-robot interaction becomes more and more important because it must be a collaboration, a safe collaboration between robot and human being. And now all of us know now the mobile tools, and we are using them voluntarily in the railway, in the train, somewhere we can work. And this is changing the individual work processes in the new world of work. Okay, but now we have 3 diamonds here, 3 examples, 3 diamonds of from going from vision to reality with digitalization in prevention. And we have our honored speakers today, Musa Yassin and team from Pixera, the future of AI and immersive learning in safety, followed by Sven Tim. Jakob Kort is unfortunately ill and apologized. Vision Zero, AI, and the future of prevention at work, key insights from Germany and beyond. What's beyond Germany? I don't know, but the title is very interesting. And Dr. Urs Schneider, Fraunhofer, IPA, changing human work by innovative digital ergonomic tools. So that's it. I don't want to lose words about that. And please, Musa, come on stage or make it free or what you want. Tell us from your tour.
Let me use your mic, maybe?
Yeah.
Hello, perfect. If you just give us 1 minute, we're going to swap the laptops. I think some of you were in the previous session. Has anyone here been in the previous session or? Okay, cool. Awesome, it's great we have new people. So ultimately what I'm gonna do, we have 20 minutes. I'm gonna quickly talk about some of the AI tools that we've built, but I'm going to bring up our partners and colleagues from JGC just to give you a word on how they're using our product, and then we're gonna do a live demonstration of one of our immersive solutions that companies use across the world to make learning way more engaging and interactive. And what you'll end up doing is pulling out your phone, scanning a QR code, and participating in the session as voters. And whatever we vote as a group will be the decision that we'll make and for the simulation to unfold. So yeah, as soon as we're on, perfect, we're here. Cool, so quickly, background. 15 years ago, I was very close to a fatality, and through that experience, I was assigned as part of the team that had to retrain the local contractors, run through all the systems and our policies and procedures, and that experience was an eye-opening experience for me. I realized how within safety, we really lack innovation, and a lot of work needs to go into creating actual solutions for the frontline workforce. I also realized we're doing so much that's distant from the frontline workforce, and we need to be much closer to the frontline workforce in our solutions, because ultimately they're the ones who are getting hurt, and anything we do to help them will ultimately help us, save lives. So we created Pixera. Pixera is around 5 years old now. We have nearly 45 customers. Our customers are, global enterprise businesses all around the world that, impact over 1 million frontline workers. And the business is all about using AI and interactive solutions to make, to create engagement and empowerment for the frontline workforce. So quickly, just to mention AI, because it's a big buzzword. Many people are talking about AI, but when we think about AI and what we're doing with AI, for us, what's exciting is AI is going to create a much more personalized future. So we're going to be much closer to the individual. The individual is going to be understood, and everything they're going to do is going to be personalized to them. The risks that are associated with them, the activity, and so on. To give you a bit more context on what that means, a good analogy I like to give is, imagine a safety-focused large language model. And the large language model will just basically have so much information ingested, basically all the reports that we had to date around incidents, the reports we have from the International Labour Organization, and every other organization out there. And it's just going to become a very intelligent ally and colleague that every frontline worker will have with them, but it's also going to understand me as an individual, as a frontline worker or a supervisor. So if I'm going to a site, this is kind of a slide that I like to show. If I'm going to a site, I'm understood, my certificates, my work history is understood, and when I am being onboarded, I would be onboarded just, I would only take the trainings that I need to take in a personalized way. And beyond training, and that's kind of the solution we specialize, our bread and butter has been onboarding, compliance, training, and our product is extremely engaging and powerful because it's very personalized. But what happens after, and what we started building after, is you actually stick around with the frontline worker. So when you're out there doing an activity like a supervisor, you record your risk assessment or pre-task check or toolbox talk on your phone, and it analyzes the risks associated with activity. It gives you feedback. It reports it back up to the site manager. And you just have that companion with you that's constantly coaching you. If there's a risk at site, you should get a micro-learning activity to help bridge the gap on that risk. So yeah, I'll go into immersive learning now. We see that AI and interactive engaging learning go hand in hand. The reason why interactive and immersive learning is powerful is because you're moving from theory, which is what we've been doing for a long time, and you're going to practice, right? So instead of just telling people so much about why working at height why working at height rules are important, put them in a working at height activity, let them make decisions and witness the risks and the incidents in real time in a very emotional, dramatic way. It makes it much more memorable. It allows you to simulate so many different activities. What we've done here as a business is we made it extremely easy to build these simulations. Using our tools, you can put very high quality simulations together in less than 2 weeks and deploy them on mobile, VR, browser. But our clients love it because as you'll see soon, you live through situations and you learn in very powerful story-driven way where you're the main decision maker of that story. We have so many different learning simulations that exist, a huge database that has most of the mandatory standards out there in over 32 languages, all AI powered. And we have learning simulations that are leadership-based learning simulations that allow you to talk to 3D characters and have conversations to learn how empathy actually allows that character to open up and share more. And if you're very cold and you just tell them what's the status of the job, you see that their response is not as genuine and not as authentic. And it allows you to understand that you can learn a lot more and have much more productive conversations when you act from the heart and speak from the heart. Yeah, I'll pass over to Tony to share a few words about the work we've been doing with JGC particularly, and then we'll take over and move to a demo.
Thank you very much, Musa, for that. So JGC is in partner with Pixera for transforming our HSC management system into a digitalized platforms. So it's not just a technological upgrade for us, but it's also a transformation on how we see safety and the trainings and the values of our frontline workers. The traditional learning methods actually struggles to meet the demands of high-risk industries like our company, the JGC. It's more generic, less in engagement, and it does not actually prepare our workers to the realistic work environment at job sites. So partnering with Pixera, we're able actually to customize the content and integrate the actual work environment into their platforms or into their modules. And there are over 32 languages available in their modules. We use that and deploy in just for a few months. It's all already deployed in several projects that we have in JGC. So the Pixera also offers an immersive gamified experience with our workers, which actually boasts the engagements and knowledge retentions. It has a built-in real-time dashboards where we can track, monitor, and analyze our performances and progress. Also, it has a classroom efficient management systems, easy for the trainers and facilitators to use. That's it. And actually our collaborations, we're not just only building a safe work environment, but building a society that is more advanced, where every people can actually go home safely every day.
Thank you, Tony. All right, for the fun part, we're gonna start a quick live demonstration. We're gonna be quick in some instances, but the purpose is for you to see what a classroom session can look like in an immersive world. It's one of the products our customers love because it just becomes a tool that trainers can use within a classroom setting where all the trainees can, participate instead of just listening to a trainer speak at them by scanning a QR code, adding their information or their ID, and then you're logging their results, you're understanding where they have gaps, and that's being also pushed to the LMS or our LMS. So yeah, if you can please scan the QR code and participate. Feel free to participate if you guys want to. Or don't worry about it. You can be. We'll give this 10 seconds for a few participants to come in. Cool. There's so many high-risk modules out there. We're using Working at Height because it's particularly a quick one. And yeah, if you'd like to learn about any other modules or different things we use, please come by and talk to us after this. We're happy to share more. Cool. We have 11 participants. We're gonna start the simulation. Just before we unmute, one thing that I want to share is there's a stop work system in this module. The way the system works is if you notice anything that's wrong, you press the stop work button, it freezes, and it tells you to identify what's wrong in the scene, and it gives you rewards at the end and achievements at the end of the module. So I'd like you to just scream out stop work in this situation because there's no stop work button within your phone experience. But once you scream out stop work, James is going to hit the stop work button and we'll figure out what's wrong. Cool? So stay alert. If you notice something wrong, just call out stop. Be as loud as it can be. That will be, at least it'll help us see how you'll act on site. All right, so Let's
So
unmute.
the task today is to do some work on the light fixtures. This will require us to climb the scaffold and use standard tools. The rescue plan is in place, and the emergency response team is on call and ready to respond if need be. Of course, we'll have to follow the working at height life-saving rules to make sure we're safe at all times.
Okay, so before we hit continue, just remember these 3 life-saving actions are the most important things you need to remember to reduce your likelihood of risk in a working at height situation. Always inspect your fall protection equipment. You're wearing them, make sure that you check them and that they're fit for purpose. Always secure any tool or loose object to a safety lanyard. Make sure no dropped objects impact anyone during the work activity, and tie off 100% to approved anchor points.
Okay, let's get going. What should we do before climbing the scaffold?
All right, get your votes in. All right, James. Cool, that's a clear one. Always inspect our harness. When do you do that? When should you inspect your harness? Yeah, let's go. Always is the simple answer. We're going to go through the scene quickly, but this scene is a randomized set of harnesses that you can assess and identify if they're wrong or right, and you can add different variations. But for the purposes of time, we're going to move quickly through that.
Correct.
There's a hook that's broken in that first one. I think the second one is, yeah, the second one is safe.
Correct.
You can rotate it, play with it in a normal situation, and we have a big variation of different harnesses. This one is, if you can notice here, there's a problem, so it's a no.
Correct.
Cool.
The first rule of working at height is to always inspect your fall protection equipment before use. Okay, the harness is good to go. Next, we need a way to carry our tools. Which tool set should we take?
Do we take the toolbox, or do we wear a safety tool belt? Cool, let's go with the...
Why is that?
Why would you use a tool belt? Why is a tool belt safer to use? Exactly. So yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
it's always...
Securing tools and work materials to prevent dropped objects is the second rule of working at height.
Yeah, so I would make that mistake. Of course, back pain is something we think about, but the main reason we should always wear a tool belt is because we cannot risk dropped objects. Dropped objects at height can be extremely dangerous, and you'll see why soon.
This scaffold has been inspected and certified for use and is all clear to climb. Confirming scaffolds, personnel lifts, platforms, and ladders are inspected, and barriers and guardrails are in place is one of the life-saving rules. By the way, when you're on a certified scaffold, a harness isn't always required. But today, let's assume it is. All right, let's head upstairs.
Hey, Rob.
Oh, hey, Sarah. I'm just gonna change this light really quick and, head out.
Keep in mind that on certified scaffolds, all the rails are 100% approved anchor points.
Is there something wrong here? Is there a...
This would have been a good time to click the button and stop work.
Should have screamed stop work. I saw you wanted to. Yeah, so in this case, of course, call out stop work. What is wrong in the scene? Why did we need to stop work here? Exactly. So if you look at, so let's hit number 2.
Can you click on the tool that poses a safety risk?
Going back to what we were saying about the tool belt, in this case, the fact that the wrench and the tool is not tied to his safety lanyard is a huge risk.
Great
You'll see why
job.
now.
All tools and working materials must be connected to a safety lanyard to prevent dropped objects. Let's see what happens. Oh no, let's see this from below. Quick, look up! That was close. Just imagine if that hit someone. Falling from so high, the force of a tool reaches over 100 kilograms.
100
This is a near miss and
kilograms.
should be reported
It
immediately.
will instantly kill
Dropped
someone.
objects can be fatal. See how the tool ended up about 3 meters away from the scaffold. What should have been done prior to the job?
What do you think we should have done before the job? Exactly. Set up an exclusion zone. Make sure no one
Exactly.
walks close to this
That's
area
why we
during
need a
the work
barrier
activity.
when we're working on unprotected activities at height.
Can you erect the barriers to clearly mark and protect the work zone?
Point and click to set them up.
Thanks.
Let's get back to Rob and see how this plays out.
Oh, jeez. Someone could have died. Oh, it's been such a long day. Let's just get this over with. Hey, do you have an extra wrench I could use?
Oh, he tied the tool this time. Call it, call it.
Stop work.
Okay, so James did hit, he couldn't handle seeing him without hitting the stop work button. So what's wrong in the scene? Exactly, so he did not tie off his harness to the approved anchor point. Let's hit that. What should the employee do to remain safe in this situation? Of course, he should have attached his harness to the rail. Let's hit that.
Exactly. He should have never disconnected his harness. I tie off 100% to approved anchor points while outside a protected area is a third rule of working at height.
What else? Apart from not being tied off, standing on the rail like he did should never be an option. Let's hit that.
Yes, standing on the rail, like Rob is doing, is unsafe. He should plan properly if the light is out of reach. Let's see how this goes. No.
So typically you would actually play a game at the end where you go and recall. But I just wanted to say, great job, everyone. Honestly, like most of the answers were clearly correct, and some people wanted maybe a few clarification points around the importance of a tool belt and not having loose tools. But yeah, for the purposes of time, just keep in mind you can play this on mobile, in a classroom setting, in virtual reality, and there are many other cool tools. And I'll stop here to make sure there's enough time for the rest of the sessions. Thank you so much for participating. You've been great.
Thank you, Musa, for this wonderful demonstration of this wonderful tool. Other questions? Is there one question? We have, I think, even we have gone through it in a hurry. Yeah. Perhaps we can take 1 minute of time to ask something.
Great. Any questions? Clear. I'm here if you have any.
I have a question. You have among your clients, you have bigger enterprises. Is it suitable also for small and medium enterprises? Can you use it? Can they buy it Or is it-
Absolutely. If anything, the majority of our large enterprise customers, for example, if you look at GEV or BP or Shell, the thing they like most is the fact that if a smaller organization with 50 or 100 employees comes, they can, for a very affordable rate, get the highest quality content that they use as well. So we would tell you, here's the GEV content, here's the BP content.
okay.
So as a smaller organization, instead of worrying about content, you can just deploy very high quality modules directly on mobile phones.
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay, and then one perhaps it's clear, but I didn't understand it. If 100 people say would have done the wrong vote, do they get back you're wrong, or?
So typically what's happening here is you're logging the votes per person. So in a classroom setting, you know who's making decisions.
Yeah.
So as a trainer, when I just verify you to get certified, I can talk to you a little bit and make sure you're coached. But it's not about telling people you did wrong or right. It's about making sure everyone is understood, and you never call out people in front of the class. The cool thing about this is you don't see the names of the votes.
Yeah, okay.
But at the end, as a trainer, I need to be like, oh, I need to give this person.
Okay,
some
for the
more
trainer, it will be clear. Yeah, okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
You have to say anonymous, I think.
Anonymous, exactly, because I don't want my colleagues to know that I have gaps, because this is my job.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Clear.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Wonderful.
much.
Thank you. Okay. Then come on stage here. You are on stage, but come here.
Yeah, thank you.
Dear Sven,
Thank you,
head of
Christian.
deputy, head of
Yes.
prevention of German
It's working. Yeah.
public accident insurance.
Yeah.
Floor is yours.
Yeah, my name Sven Tim, not Seven, Sven. I insist on this.
Seven.
I'm working for the social accident insurance in Germany. This is part of the social insurance scheme. What does an insurance body is doing here on the scene? The special thing is we are trying it out for now 141 years. Then our institution was installed. Still the time we had an emperor in Germany. And the special thing which has developed over the decades, if not centuries, is we are in charge, of course, of the classical insurance part of it, but we are fully convinced that it's better to prevent. And this is all about our sessions we have here in this wonderful initiative, in this global initiative, to prevent any kind of accident and additionally, of course, occupational diseases as well. The special thing is that we are running inspection services. And our system is arranged according to sectors, majorly, for industry and trade. So we have nine bigger organizations, so-called Berufsgenossenschaften, or this is the old-fashioned German name, social accident insurance institutions. And there is, for example, one for construction, another one for metal and woodworking industries, and other industries as well. I think we are, compared to many, many other organizations and countries as well, we are relatively well equipped with inspectors. Our system as social accident insurance has approximately 2,700, 2,800 inspectors. This is just one part of it. The second part is that we have also state labor inspectors. We are cooperating, we have joint approaches, there's a strategy which allocates jobs of inspection to the one or to the other. Today, I'm talking about what is essential for us when it comes to innovation for further development. And of course, AI is an absolutely powerful tool. And I also want to give some or share some ideas with you about the future of prevention, what we intend to do in the future. First of all, we are strong supporters, like many others. I see here my friend from Soxo, Perkeso, from Malaysia. They are too. We are strong supporters of Vision Zero. Because technical things is one thing and all good, and training is absolutely essential. But we think we need a simple overarching strategy, and therefore Vision Zero is really a universal, simple approach which is independent from the legislational framework which is behind. I think this is essential when we are talking about Vision Zero. And behind this background, we want to lead the charge with Vision Zero, so aiming at preventing work-related accidents. We also cover commuting accidents, so road safety is a topic, and occupational diseases, and this with a holistic approach in order to have Vision Zero coming true, which I heard yesterday in a session, there was a minister, he said, Vision Zero is not realistic. It's a dream. Maybe, but for us, it's a targeted dream, and there is a vision we are facing. We all know we are majorly engineers, natural scientists, medical doctors, whatever. We know that it is not the zero that we will reach finally, but there are companies, there are organizations, they reach at least zero for a limited time. Of course, I heard this from Musa before, that there is this human-centered approach, and we are following this as well when we are talking about Vision Zero and trying to implement Vision Zero into our work. And finally, we want to have a prevention tailored to the individual, like the training could approach the individual problems there may be. AI, we heard a lot about this in the last 3 days, is a powerful tool. It's always dependent on data, and we have already taken the first steps to provide a universal portal, a universal bot. We want to share this, and this is the other background with the international joint approaches of the International Social Security Association, of ISA. So we have a prototype of a prevent bot, as we call
Welcome
it.
to our PreventBot website. We're thrilled to have you here. PreventBot is designed to assist you on your occupational health and safety journey. On this site, you can access information about safety protocols, industry-specific safety measures, important guidelines for your work, and much more. Let's explore the opportunities together. Click to start the chatbot. PreventBot offers an array of innovative services designed to meet your needs, all at your fingertips. We have a general chatbot that can assist you with a wide range of tasks. Our document evaluator lets you summarize documents and interact with them for deeper insights. And with PreventBot, you can access and interact with a wealth of information from ISA, asking questions about ISA and your work, with answers quoting source documents. Let's dive in and see PreventBot in action. As you can see, PreventBot supports multiple languages and offers both normal and simple language modes. You can also choose to communicate via text or voice, making it accessible to everyone. Let's start with an example. I'll ask the PreventBot, what are the 7 golden rules?
We heard a lot about this.
Isn't that
just
great?
A simple
PreventBot
application
gathers all the
example.
needed information from available documents and always cites the source in its answers. Now, let's try a follow-up question. Can you tell me more about the 2nd rule? This shows how PreventBot can remember context and provide detailed follow-up answers. Now, let's use voice input. I'll ask, what is Vision Zero? How easy was that? Just speak, and PreventBot delivers the information you need.
Vision Zero is a global strategy aimed at eliminating occupational accidents and work-related illnesses.
For our final example, let's ask a question in Hindi to demonstrate multilingual support. Isn't it amazing? PreventBot breaks down language barriers, making important safety information accessible to everyone, no matter what language they speak. As you can see, PreventBot enables everyone globally to access safety information without language barriers. There is also potential for expansion. PreventBot's services could be extended to various media channels like WhatsApp, where users could conveniently write, send voicemails, or make calls to seek assistance and guidance. Thank you for exploring PreventBot with us today. We look forward to helping you stay safe and informed.
Yeah, and it's quite obvious we are trying to make use of the opportunities of the new technology, but we are relying on our own data. So within this bot, we will only use quality assured data, so from partners who are aligned in this project within the International Social Security Association. Another project we are running, which has already come a part of, let's say, everyday's work, is using AI for prevention in means that we are looking how can AI help to reach the goals of Vision Zero. That may be the general question, but how can we maximize the impact of prevention services? I already told you, for example, in the construction industry, we are having approximately 500 inspectors, and together with a partner, our member of the organization I work for, which is the umbrella organization, GISHW, the partner, the organization who did it for the construction service was the Social Accident Insurance of the for the construction service, BGBAU abbreviated, and they developed together with technical partners an AI platform within a relatively short time to tackle these targets, these goals, and the challenges. The thing behind is, number one, there's a lot of data available. The BGBAU is existing now, I don't know exactly, but minimum 100 years, if not more. And they have a lot of inspection data. They have a lot of data about the enterprises. And in Germany, data is a very special and delicate thing because protection of data, which has a background of, for example, social data or personal data, is highly protected. So within the organization, you may use it, and this was the wonderful thing that we are allowed to do it in this approach. So all data available of the company was put into this system. And the algorithm were provided by service providers who did this. We had two major outcomes. In the next layer, there is available a dashboard with really 360-degree view on companies. I think this is important. Every information which was ever available of a company is in there. And even if a company changed their name, their organizational structure, so everything is in this. And with the use of AI, and the outcomes of inspections were also are also in this system. So the performance in health and safety is implemented in the system. And with the algorithms of the large language model behind this, we are able to identify companies who are most likely to have an accident in the nearer future. And this helps to concentrate the forces you have. The third thing is, it also benefits the inspectors. Okay, what's the inspector's work? Selecting a company, maybe it's the own decision of the inspector, or there's an inspection plan for the week or for the month or whatever. But this is, it's also incident driven maybe. There was an accident and there's obviously a need for advice because our inspectors are in a way special compared to state labor inspectors. We are also providing advice, services, consultancy. So if training is needed, we help them to get training, or at least we address what kind of training is needed. Or if any other special kind of information or measurement services is needed, this will be provided. And everything is then what is available on data, and prioritization is associated in the third layer of this, and it's a work list for the inspectors. It's not a must for the inspector, but it's a help. Yeah, we heard about that, especially inspectors are individuals of special kind. Outside in the companies, they are the big shots, and at home in their own administration, they have to follow the rules within the organization. So every data which is available gives insight. On pressing on one button, every information is available. And this was tested in a relatively short time. There were constantly feedback loops with the developers, with the inspectors. Is it acceptable so? Is it better? Does it help? And so on. Risk indicators were identified and prioritized jointly together with the developers of the system and the inspectors as well. And within the system, there are weekly updates. So it's really relatively up to date. Normally, an inspector inspects in previous times a company. Maybe 4 weeks later, the report is ready. I know numbers from colleagues from a country. Sometimes you get six months later, you get a letter. Oh, there was something wrong on the 1st of February. Nobody remembers really, except for exceptional accidents. So this is a really up-to-date system and helps a lot. If you have a look, 600,000 enterprises dealing with construction works in Germany. The capacity of 500 inspectors allows approximately 10% inspection per annum. In the database are more than 10 million data points, and the saving potential out of this pre-selection done for the inspectors was calculated with approximately €250 million. So there is obviously a high saving potential. And it revolutionized the inspectors' work. This is, for example, an original comment from an inspector that the time-consuming, I'm going through relatively fast. The time-consuming report writing or so was revolutionized with this system, because you could have text, speech to text, also include into the report pictures, and all this, the catalog of shortcomings, of defects, reached up to now 3,000 defects, is implemented in the catalog, and the links to the legal background, which is very often necessary for the companies, is also linked to it. In previous times, the average report took 30 minutes. Nowadays, it takes 5 minutes or less. Of the 5 minutes, 3 minutes are to check the report. They are very short, precise, everything is linked to each other. And it saved finally 9,100 days inspection time annually. The solution convinced, and this is now a standard system, and we have 9 organizations in Germany, and 6 are already into it, and the others, I'm relatively sure, will follow soon. It's an efficiency boost. It still has a human-centered focus, and the quality of the reports, it's much more consistent, because there's a catalog of shortcomings, of failures, defect codes, as it said here, and the collaboration of the 7 organizations, 7 of 9, is already working, and we are hoping very much for the boost and for the saving in inspection time, which could be invested for the companies who need more. To finalize, the insight into our activities is that we are planning a global network for safety, health, and well-being under the framework of Vision Zero. And we want to share best practices. We want to share all knowledge around Vision Zero within this, let's say, within this system. And we also intend to provide this as a decision-making tool for stakeholders. It could be, in our case, for example, the social partners who have to agree on regulations and things like this. This is the approach in Germany. And this database we intend to share with all others. Some examples of, let's say, subbots within the system is a special chatbot dealing with climate change impact and what we can do to prevent outcomes, or another is training. We had a wonderful example of Musa and his team also, let's say, displaying this via TikTok or Instagram-like clips. And finally, our plan is, and we already started with it, and everyone is highly welcome to contribute, to share his expertise with this. We want to provide some sort of an AI store for social protection, meaning, in our case, majorly prevention, but also other services which are associated with it. There's often a link between prevention and rehabilitation. So with this system, we try and tend, and we are not making money with it. It's our passion to do this, and we want to share this with customers, but as well as with institutions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sven, for this wonderful example. Yeah, join the system, yes? Yeah. Join the network. I think it's a very good thing. Because of the lack of time now, everyone can ask you after this session. We want to give you the floor, dear Urs, to give us your presentation. Thank you for staying here. It will be very interesting now also, another thing, but okay, give us your speech, please.
Thank you, Christian. Thank you for having me. Just a short understanding for me. I think also for staff, it's a freeze for you here at 5 o'clock, right? Yeah. So, is that correct? Yeah. I can adapt my presentations. I'm very easy, but I should know. I think 5 is freeze. Okay. So I will rush over some slides. I'll speak slow, but I don't speak some content, so it's possible. Okay. So thank you for still joining. And so I just want to share some work that we do with some potential of digital ergonomics. I'm Urs, I'm a physician, and I'm the scientific director of one of our 73 Fraunhofer institutes. We work for the largest tech research organization in Europe. And here we look at musculoskeletal illnesses, and the back pain is within the days absent, a crucial point. And the question is, what can we do to prevent back pain with modern means? Very important for me is the future. I'm 54. I think I'm still present, but I'll be past soon. The spinal lesions start at the age of 15. And we think today that many people were their back pains at the age of 40. They were overloaded at the age between 15 and 18 when the spinal cord is not ready yet, where not all bone is ready. So the future is about treating the young, educating the young. It's always about next generation to keep them healthy. We had our chance. So one point here I want to make some information from a project that we do on health and safety in construction work. In Germany, we have 15 so-called excellence projects, and I have the honor to be in one of those, where we look at the future of modern timber construction, because we believe that timber construction is the method for the future on the whole planet. And you see the largest timber construction ever today in Osaka at EXPO. So there's a high injury rate in construction, and there are a lot of preventive fatalities in construction. Why is that so? Construction sites change every day, and that's the dangerous situation relative to our shop floor. And there are even collaborative tasks where 2 or more people work together, like those guys in prefabrication. They help each other, but it's a risk of its own. So 2 approaches to where we want to inform the workers and where we want to physically assist the workers. On the one side, in this excellence project, we are working on a health and safety platform for collaborative tasks in timber construction. The idea is that we monitor and evaluate hints to physical and cognitive fatigue for team performance and safety. And we want a real-time notification system to inform the worker. So we work on a so-called event-driven architecture with a human-centric digital twin, and we send microservices for information. What does that mean? We measure information from humans, heart information, muscle fatigue information, movement information, physical assist system information, and workspace data, real-time into an information system, and can feed back warning one day. So in the meantime, out of known postures and risks, we can do real-time risk assessment, even in complex strategies of individuals, to understand individual risks and answer and recommend. In that case, we have a study object, 2 guys holding a beam and installing a beam. So we measure muscle activity, heart information, and exoskeleton information on the 2 users, and we capture and measure the beam. So we take information from the scenario and we measure muscle fatigue. And with this information, in the meantime, we can recommend, for example, optimized ways of dealing with an object so that it doesn't fall down and that I don't slip, trip, and fall. In the current research, we now take joint information, muscle information, and feed this all about the scenario into the service bus. And we're in year 6 of a 15 years research project. Now it's 5 o'clock. So one more, there are many physical assist systems now in the market, about 100. We test those devices and we develop musculoskeletal models that we overlay with the exoskeleton. It can assist. We can then visualize how the muscles may be deloaded from a physical system or not. Sometimes good intent, bad function, but we can look at it now. Out of this, we can do real-time risk assessment with and without a device. We test a lot of people in abstracted scenarios. We do this together with the German Occupational Health Insurance. We test on humans, on exos, we publish, and with that, we try to do a person-specific assist recommendation for tasks. And you can see young people work, and you can watch us doing this soon in Düsseldorf at A+A. And this was maybe too short, but I tried to keep the time. Thank you.
Thank you, Urs. Thank you for your patience. Yeah, you can ask our both or three speakers here. And it was a very interesting session. Even we are in a hurry, but it doesn't matter. Come to Düsseldorf in November. You'll get more information. You will have more time, I think, and there will be the Veracon Europe, a special inside of the A+A conference, a special conference on dealing with the exoskeletons. So, okay. Thank you for your patience. Enjoy the conference here tomorrow, and a good trip home then, and we'll see us, and we meet again, perhaps, in Düsseldorf. And you're cordially inviting too. Okay, bye-bye.
ありがとうございました。Thank you very much for Dr. Felten and all speakers.